Welcome. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. Very pleased to be with you this afternoon. My name is Fraser Chesterman. I'm one of the directors of FuturePrint, and I'm really pleased to be hosting this webinar, which is going to focus on the collaboration between Marabu Inks and Koenig Bauer machine technology, and focus in particular on very innovative digital printing solutions on glass. And I am very pleased to have two of very special people, actually, because we've been working on this for quite a long time. Tobias Lang from Marabu. Hi, Tobias.
Hi, Fraser. Glad to meet you.
Thank you. And you are Global Project Manager of Marabu for UV inkjet inks, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm globally responsible as a product manager for the UV inkjet inks.
Brilliant. And also another guest, Tim Schnell, Koenig Bauer, Kammern, sales manager. I think it covers UK, Germany, parts of Germany, parts of Austria. Tell us, Tim, where do you cover? Where's your kind of region?
So hi guys, pleased to be with you. So I'm sales manager, is correct, and I'm caring for our customers in UK, in Scandinavia, parts of Germany, parts of Switzerland, Austria, and Netherlands.
Brilliant. So, thank you very much, gentlemen. Now, listen, just before we start, I'll give you some little what we term as housekeeping bits of information for you, just so you know what's going to happen. Just to give you an indication, we've had 230 people register for this session, and it will probably last around an hour or so. We're going to give you lots of content to be looking at and thinking about. We'll have an opportunity to take questions from you. So if you want to post questions in the chat, we're happy to look at those. We'll probably catch up on the questions at the end or nearer the end of the presentation, because we have a lot of things to get through. This actual session is being recorded, so if by any chance you have to leave the session, then this will be recorded, and we'll be able to send it to you so you can listen to the full presentation. And for many of you, if you haven't already, we're hoping to get a bottle to you, a copy of a bottle to show you the example of the digital printing. Tim or Tobias, have you got a copy of your bottles?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, for sure.
There we go. Some of you may have yours already. If you haven't, we're hoping to get a copy of that bottle out to you in the next few weeks. And it really gives you an indication, gives you a chance to feel it as well as kind of see it and get a real idea of the value of this and the haptic value and the senses you get from this digital print. So that's really interesting. There is one other thing. We're going to be doing a selfie competition, which Tim is going to explain more about. That'll come at the end, but it's something that you can do with your bottle. Bit of fun. Anyway, listen, let's begin this. I'm going to ask for Tobias to start the presentation, and we're going to look at megatrends initially, which will help us to get our head around why this is so important, why digital print on glass is just so important. Tobias, over to you.
Thank you for this nice introduction, Fraser. Well, what is expecting you? The first time you already mentioned, Fraser, we will speak about megatrends and how they fit to our new technology. We will speak about individualization. We will speak about sustainability and appearance. Later, the next topic will be, what is our new technology? What is the digital relief printing, and what makes it so special? After that, Tim will explain you how does the printing process works. That means, how does the ink comes to the substrate? And then we will show you some different kind of design opportunities where we can use it on different kind of bottles, different kind of beverage, and so on. And then I would like to show you the ink, presentation of the ink. That is the ink that fits. That's kind of product launch, and followed then by an interactive part. And Fraser already mentioned some questions in the Teams function here. So the first thing, what we think, okay, we had the idea of these new technology regarding these mega trends. And the first mega trend is we found the shopper study, which shows that 68% of all people are of all purchasing decision are at the point of sales. And if we have now at the left side, we see here the 6 most important packaging functions. It is information, protection, storage, which are more generally based, but also branding, recognizability, and appetite appeal. And these functions are, half of the functions are affected by the appearance. And appearance is mainly driven by design, and design mainly driven by the printing process, printing technology. If we go now a little bit more into detail, what really influences the buying impulse, we see that 67% are mainly emotional properties who drive the influence of buying. This could be quality, appetite of the product, beauty, fashionability, or eye-catching. And this shows us how important the artwork, design for the packaging is, and it triggers the emotion to influence the purchasing decision. And this makes it so interesting for our customers. Now, but I spoke a lot about the study. Now, I would like to try to explain you why we think that this trend fits perfectly to our new innovation. First, we have the quality. Here you see a glass. We have this printed, digital relief printed. We have an outstanding scratch resistance, dishwasher resistance, which if you have it in your hand, you can feel it, that the resistance is really, really outstanding. If you see here the appetite of the product, you can increase the appetite of the product by individualization, by creating unique designs. We think on channel differentiation, for example, different kind of series for special events, for example, a rock concert. We could imagine an AC/DC beer, especially for them, but also things like beauty. We have an outstanding counter sharpness if we compare it to the conventional process. And we have a rise, especially interesting for our designers who are in the audience here, is that we have increased the design freedom. Fashionability, well, it is a fully digital printing process, and we feel here the real glass effect. If you look at the packaging, you see more and more real material which is used. And this ink looks like glass, it feels like glass, and this fits really the bill here. Of course, you have here an eye-catching thing because you can create unique design and you can combine haptical and visual effects, which means the people go to the shop, take a part of it, see this unique design, and can also feel it. Last but not least, I added another mega trend. It's sustainability. We speak about recycling, no heavy metals, and UV curing. And because this is so strong mega trend, I would like to go a little bit more into detail for this, why this technology is or fits to sustainability. We have 4 points. We have the first point. We as Marabu are really proud to announce that since July 2021, we are a climate neutral company. And we believe that sustainability is not our responsibility. It's our duty to be sustainable for the next following generations. So we are able to offer all our products in a climate neutral manner. This is okay. We are manufacturing of inks. We are chemistry, so we produce CO2, but we are compensating this CO2 by supporting international climate projects. The second thing is the ink chemistry. Well, if you speak here about this varnish, we are speaking about an organic-based ink, which is based on 100% organic chemistry. For that, we abstain on toxic components like heavy metals, like it is used in inorganic inks, for example, as pigments. Well, we know what these components do with our human organism and with the environmental. The third point is I mentioned is the recycling opportunity. The embossing varnish is 100 based on organic chemistry, as mentioned before. So by the recycling process at high temperature, where the glass is melted again, these kind of varnish will oxidate without any residues. So you can use the glass more than one time. And last but not least, I want to speak about the curing technology. We speak here about a 100% of UV technology. That means on the one hand, we do not use any solvents, which means we have 0 point of volatile organic components. That means no solvent will evaporate to the atmosphere. And the second point is here to mention, if we compare the CO2 consumption against an oven drying process like we have in the for the inorganic inks, we have a CO2 consumption which is less than 5% of CO2 compared to this curing process. The third megatrend is the megatrend of personalization. And this megatrend is driven through the different kind of generation. If you have a look at different kind of generations, like we have here on the left side, the baby boomers, which have which feels a really strong 27% of them feel a demand for personalization products. And this goes up if we go through the different kind of generations. Generation X, 32, millennials, 45, and the now growing up Generation Z generation are feeling 53% of them feel this demand. So if we now compare it to the actual usage, we have a 40 to 50% in future interest in personalization, personalized products, actual versus usage below 20%. But this means that these personalization is a market which will be grown in the future. But the question on the other hand is, can we capitalize it? And we can say yes. If we have a look on the right side, we see the value of personalization. The gray bars are consumers who are willing to pay 20% above the list price, and the red bars are consumers who are willing to pay even 10% more. And if we now go through these different kind of industries, consumer health, food and beverage, beauty, and so on, and take an average, we see that 70 to 80% are willing to pay 10% more for personalization. And 30 to 50% of the people are willing to pay even 20% more for personalization. So if we have now on an overview, we see on the left side, we have a growing market. On the right side, we have the opportunity to capitalize it, which makes it really interesting for us. But how does it fit to our new technology? Well, we have to go a little bit into the detail of the conventional process. We have here the conventional glass production, which is produced by embossing tools. And for each design, you will need an individual embossing tool. You have to imagine that these hot melted glass are filled into a tool, and then it's blowing up, and the shape will be created. So individualization is quite difficult. These processes are just economical for high volumes. So, well, on the other hand, we have our printed embossing technology. It's an individual production because it is fully digital printing. We have here the opportunity to fully individualize the production, and this could be done in an economical way. So we can produce unique parts and downsize the batch to piece 1. Especially, this is interesting for, I already mentioned this type channel differentiation. This is especially for channel differentiation. It's really interesting because we think that for especially events like rock concerts or football games or small breweries, it is really interesting because there they can create a unique design and can create an eye-catching factor of their products. So thank you very much. I will now overhand to Tim.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. I was just going to ask, actually, Tobias, that's a really useful kind of way of framing why this technology is really important. And exactly as you said, there's a recognition, isn't there, that the people who are the consumers, particularly younger people, have a clear passion about certain things, personalized product. They also are very much about ethical product. That the production of things is, there's a clear purpose. These big factors are all quite important, aren't they? And this really lends itself both in terms of, as you said, the sustainable story, but also the short run production. it kind of gives another reason why this is beneficial. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Totally, and we think this kind of technology is interesting for different kind of people. Well, for sure, I totally agree with you. And I see also the point of the different kinds of distribution levels. If we now go through our different distribution levels, we have the ink manufacturer, we have the printing machine manufacturer, we have the glass decoration, we have the wineries or breweries, and we have the end customers. And well, if we now see at the direct the print shops who are creating these, who are creating the design, and they are printing these bottles, they will get an effort from decreasing the production cost by using this printing embossing technology. Wineries or breweries who buy these kind of containers will create their unique designs. Designers who work parallel with them, they can create design freedom. They will win for it. And especially, the end customer, they can have their own product, their individualized product, and in this manner, how they like.
Yeah, it's interesting because we recently, Futureprint did a piece of research where we were asking packaging converters, and we were more specifically picking up on what was important to them about digital print, what did it offer. And they, by a long way, 80% of them said the most important thing about digital was it gave flexibility and ability to respond to demand. Which is exactly what you've said, really, isn't it? It's this, it's absolutely, whether it be a change in behaviour demand, or whether it be a club, a football team has won a cup and you want to print bottles or something, it's the change in demand, isn't it?
Yeah. And what we also see is here that it's not only focused on the packaging market. I think also we can create this benefit also on other markets.
Product decoration, exactly.
Product decoration, or we have the beverage industry, which are also printing on glass. And for them, it's the same interesting as the packaging. We have the cosmetic industry. I think on really complex perfume flacons, which are produced, which production costs are really, really high, and we can help them with supporting with this kind of industry. And to be honest, I believe this kind of industry is not only interesting for the glass industry, it's also interesting for the plastic industry. Yeah. Plastic is the shapes are produced in the same way. It's injection molding process is more or less the same. You have this melted plastics, and then you inject it into tools, and you form parts. And for that, it's the same story.
It's direct to shape, isn't it? It's digital direct to shape, really. And that is, digital direct to shape, product decoration. The scope is huge. I'm sure Tim's just very keen to say something here, because it's all about the technology as well, isn't it? It's all about the machinery. I just want to ask one final thing before we come to you, Tim. I'd imagine people listening to this and possibly trying to weigh up analog v digital and the great advantages that we all tell about digital, but one of the challenges for them is the cost of production, isn't it? And I just wonder whether, I'd be interested to hear from either of you. The cost of production is the challenge, isn't it? So when digital fits here, because it's actually competitively priced, it's a good way of printing short run. Have you got any thought on that? Because that's often the kind of resistance you get from an analog printer.
For sure. I think we have divided into two things. I think these kind of mass production. Mass production is the analog printing or the analog embossing tools. I think if you have really, really huge amounts of production sizes, then it is possible that you stick on the conventional. But we think here we have these channel differentiation, we have this individualization, we have also the opportunity to vary different kind of packaging designs, and I think this is the option what we have here, and here we see our main focus. Another thing is we have an increased quality. I just think on the contour sharpness, for example,
Yeah.
which is massively higher compared to the conventional process.
Sure. Well, listen, let's give Tim a chance to tell us a bit about the technology, because I mean, I'm sure you're absolutely looking forward to this, because this is really, you know, we've talked about the ink, we've talked about the reason why it's important, we've talked about the mega trends, all those things, crucial. How do we do it? Over to you, Tim.
Thank you. So what I'm now going to do is I will focus a little bit more on the process itself, of its potential, and how it can be realized with a Koenig Bauer Kammern printing machine. So we call that process digital relief printing, and this is a special developed printing mode which enables you to print such artworks with up to 60 cycles per minute. This is for sure depending on the printing length and height. The layer thickness can vary according to the requirements up to 3 millimeters. And our intense adhesion tests, the results were excellent. So more than 1,000 cycles can be easily achieved with an industrial dishwasher, more than 500 cycles with a household dishwasher. So, and this process provides you, like Tobias already mentioned, a wide range of options. So it's on the one hand suitable for clear relief printing of small and fine details with contour sharpness, as you can see on the left photo, but it's also suitable for clear relief printing of higher and thicker graphic elements, like you can see on the embossing Koenig Bauer logo. So both is possible. And for those people who are now thinking, okay, that's a little bit plain, that's a little bit boring, even the combination of both, so of the common 4C printing process and the structural relief, the haptic printing, is combinable. And it's important to mention that it can be combined in just one machine. So here are two examples. Some striking visual effects can be achieved. Not too extensive, like in the leaf. There are some fine structures added. On the next page, we have two more examples. Yeah. The excellent Vino di Mara. So combination, in my opinion, this perfectly reflects the strangeness of its process. So we have flat areas, colored areas with the compass, with the landscape, and we have structural haptic effect in the scripture in the Vino di Mara K15. And Fraser, I see your shining eyes. Yeah, it's London Bridge. The Mara gin, here the same. Fine structures in the bridge itself. And then the combination with structure and haptical effects, contour sharpness. So those two samples, in my opinion, perfectly reflecting the potential of the process. So yeah, let's go on. So it's not just possible to print on cylindrical items. I think in the past it seems sometimes that we just are able to print on cylindrical items like cylindrical drinking glasses, like cylindrical wine bottle, but that's not the case. Digital printing is a non-printing process. So that means to no time we have a direct contact to the article surface. So we don't have a conventional prepress, everything is digital. And those offers two major key benefits. The one benefit already mentioned, and I think that you're all aware of that, is that you're extremely flexible in case of the batch sizes. The other point is that you have the possibility to decorate areas on the article where conventional processes like screen printing, like shrinking, labeling, are reaching their limits. So in the photo in the middle of the glass, I've highlighted some areas with the arrows, just to give you an example. So even complex article geometries and shapes can be decorated with this technology. And this offers, in my opinion, or in our opinion, the next level of design freedom, and hopefully will delight the designers in this industry as well. So, but how is this possible? So how is it possible to print on concave, convex article shapes? This is based on two grounds. So one reason is, got a mechanical reason. We are implementing various axes in our article arm holders to achieve the closest distance between the printhead and the article surface. So, and therefore we have two main axes, which are very important. So on the one hand, we have the tiltable article holders, which are servomotor driven. They can be adjusted individually in each working station and gives you the possibility of a vertical inclination angle of +20 and -10 degrees. And the other axis, very important, is the Z-axis, also servomotor controlled. So this is based on the mechanical part, and the other important thing is, reason is based on software. So I've added, a photo or a screenshot of this software. So a non-cylindrical article, let's say a complex article. We have a special design software to compensate different diameters automatically. The software is called Command CSV Generator. When you have such an article, you have varying diameters, and this leads to varying rotational speeds on the surface. And important for us is to compensate that. So, and in the first step, what we are doing is we are scanning the article. This can be done in two different ways. One, the conventional, let's say old school way, do it manually with conventional measuring methods. The other possibility is to do that automatically with integrating an article scanner, a laser into our machines. So this can be also done fully automatic. And then what the software is doing is we can control the individual jetting frequency of each single nozzle. And that's very important. We need to know when we shoot the ink drops that we are in the position to also print such articles. So, and this is possible on rotational symmetric articles like this glass, for example, but also for non-symmetric, non-rotationally symmetric, it's important to mention, articles. So both is possible. Just a shortcut, those are the two main reasons how this is possible. So let's go on. Oh, another example. Welcome to Munich. Again, the combination of structural effects, sharp contours, and important, I think, after those two slides, how it's possible also to print on non-cylindrical articles, some conical parts. Yeah, this is a challenge to print also on those areas on the article, and this is what our technology is offering you.
Now you generate me shiny eyes. As a Bavarian, now I get the shiny eyes here.
Perfect. That's for you. So next slide. Yeah, and how is it possible? This is mainly the K15 machine, a carousel machine type out of our product portfolio, and this is how a machine can look like if it's configured to do both. So on the one hand, the conventional 4C digital printing process, and on the other hand, also the possibility to generate haptical effects structures. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Then we start with the pretreatment. When we are talking or when we want to print with UV colors or inks, so we are in the world of digital printing, so it's UV ink, I think, is the correct wording. Then we do have to pre-treat the article before the printing process to achieve an outstanding adhesion. So and therefore we have our machine type K31 in our portfolio. It's a peripheral device. We are flaming on an additive, a pyroxyle or Xylan, onto the article surface to generate an adhesive base. So once the article are pre-treated, we can start with entering into the machine, into the carousel. This would be, yes, okay, perfect. So once the article are pre-treated, we can enter into the machine. And then we have here a K15 M18. Printing machine. In the first station, we have a detection station. Here is an integrated seam embossing camera, which can detect a seam to decide where on the article exactly you want to print, to not print over a seam. Just for instance, the next station is a heat control station, very important when we are printing, for example, on glass articles. It prevents that we are getting in contact with the article and cause some damage, for example, on a printing head. And as we all know, glasses do have their tolerances. So that's very important to be 100% sure not damaging anything. The next station is our first digital printing station. There we are applying a jettable primer. followed by an exhaust. Then we are applying printing a pre-varnish, white, yellow, magenta, cyan, and black. So this is our main CMYK process. And additionally, then to be able to generate haptical structural effects, we have added 4 more inkjet stations, which are filled with the high build varnish then. And then we are printing layer over layer to be in the position to print such artworks. And finally, in the end, we have our final curing with a conventional UV bulb, 250 watts per centimeter, to be sure that every layer is totally dry, and then the article is finished, done.
Fantastic. So, Tim, just a quick question that's been posed as we're going. You mentioned the different colours there. Are you able to print metallically, gold, silver, copper?
I think that is a good question for Marabu.
Yeah.
Well, it is inkjet inks are difficult, especially UV inks are difficult for gold or silver. It's more or less because of the particle size and the orientation of the pigments. But you can do it in another way. What you can do is a hot stamping. We do have a coating there. You apply the coating, then you have this foil. You you put it with a stamp on it. And this is the hot stamping process. You will get silver or gold.
Yeah, makes sense. That's a more traditional way. Tim, back to you.
Also do that. Oh, thank you. We can also do that. We call that digital hot foiling. So as Tobias mentioned, printing pre-varnish and then hot stamping over the area, and just on the area where the primer is applied, the foil is adapted. So
effectively, it's two printing process: print digitally and then hot foil, hot stamping. Yeah.
So it's a kind of digital printing process.
Yeah.
But it's also flexible, individual.
Yeah.
So same advantages.
Sounds good. There is another question, but I'll let you get going and finish off because you may even answer it in the next slide.
Yeah, why not? So I have no more slide yet for you, but what I have a video, because in my opinion, it's always good to underline such project explanation with some foot. And what we've done is that we have printed this bottle, and some may already have received it, some not, but no worries, you will receive it. And we have put a camera onto an article arm, and now we are taking you with us on a journey through a K50 carousel machine.
Yeah, that'd be really good. So we can actually see inside how the heads are working and the print process works. Sounds good?
Okay, let's start with the video.
Fantastic.
Yeah, okay, so video is already up. Okay, perfect. So then I don't see the video, it's a little problematic, but no worries. So we start with a spray tree treatment in the machine. Then we have the heat control. Then we have our first inkjet station printing the pre-varnish. You can see that we have a pinning station implemented in each digital printing station, which is moving. So we are making use of the time between the process steps to not lose any time or speed. Then we are applying our process colors, CMYK black. Then we are printing a top coat as a protective layer. And then in the next digital printing station, we have our high build varnish inside to print such structural effects. So this is the special developed high build varnish from Marabu then. Then it follows a more intense curing, final curing by a conventional UV bulb to be sure that we cure the ink through all the layers. And then finally, the article is ready. And I don't know if you have already seen our colleague Simon, but he's doing a final checkup. And for me, it seemed that he is very satisfied with the printing quality. And maybe you have seen the bottle in the video, and now you have the bottle in your hands or on your table, or it's on the way to you. You never know. So far, so good. That was the video.
Sounds good. Thank you. And I wanted to ask a question because I'm a beer drinker, but I like my beer in a jug beer glass rather than a smooth one. So tell me, What about printing on articles with handles?
Oh, that's a good question, Fraser. It's possible, and it's also possible to print on the handle. Where's my mark here? Just to give you an example. So with the already mentioned various axes we have implemented in the machine, we are very, very flexible. So we can print on handles, we can print up to 25 millimeters near the handle. Somehow we are limited, mechanical based a little bit, but with optimized curves, yeah, such possibilities.
Brilliant. Brilliant, very clever. And is this, is it one type of inkjet station, or is there, your parallel? Is it? You tell me. What have you got? What's the options?
So mainly we have 3 inkjet stations. So
Yep.
what we have seen is the standard inkjet station. Then we also have a parallel printing station. It's a little bit optimized. So we have 2 print heads and 2 bricks in one station. And then we have a servo mode driven X-axis for changing between both systems. And we have developed this system for giving you the possibility to extend the color spectrum and offer you more flexibility, so that you have more, for example, spot colors or thing with the top coat. So you can make use of, let's say, smaller indexing table with some special amount of article arms and stations, and have more in it, so more flexibility.
Tim, one of the things that people always think about is the machine speed as things are occurring. So does the speed decrease when printing on concave or convex? Does it is there a difference in speed?
Yeah, somehow it always depends on the article, but what is very important is the printing length and the printing height. So those are factors which definitely can affect the printing speed, but yeah, you never know. It's always depending on the article. Sure. I know you all hate that answer, but in the end,
no, I know what you're saying. So, and as a business, Koenig & Bauer, Cameron, do you have different options? Is there different size machines if people are looking for different options?
Yeah, when we focus on the K15 right here, what we see on the project drawing, we are offering this machine in 5 different indexing table sizes. So from XS to XL, and then up to 30 stations. That means 30 article arms, article holders, and also 30 stations which can be individual configured. We talked about that, hybrid machines. So there's also the combination possible. For example, screen printing, digital printing, printing, stamping, digital printing, hot stamping. So as more space you have in a machine, as more flexibility we can offer.
You could build in other elements into the machine technology so that it's got both digital and an analog technology there. That's clever.
Fraser, we haven't shown our audience the ink yet.
No, that's what I was about to say. Back to you, Tobias. I know you're quite keen to explain a little bit more about the inks.
So now I'm here. I'm glad to announce here our new kind of ink. It's the MaraShape DUV-HBV. It stands for D for digital because it's a digital printed ink. UV, it's an UV curable ink on the UV light, and the properties is high build varnish. And this kind of ink puts all the needs from these kind of megatrends, appearance, sustainability, personalization, what we spoke before in the beginning in our introduction, together. You mentioned both, and you saw already in the video, and Fraser and Tim all mentioned the glass bottle, which may have already received. The other one, it's getting to you. I would like to explain the benefits from the ink. If we have here the ink bottle here, and you have this Marabu logo on it, we see there, for example, the design freedom. It is, if you touch it, you can feel visual and haptical decoration, and the visual decoration came from our standard UltraJet DUVC. By printing 3 to 4 layers, it is easily to achieve 0.5 millimeter film thickness that you can feel. But as Tim mentioned, there are even more possible if you have another design, or if you have more film thickness. If we go a little bit deeper to the leaf, to the colored leaf, you can see the quality of this kind of technology. I want to mention out, I want to underline here the contour sharpness. You see it here at the fine structures of the leaf. And if you touch it, you can feel how rigid it is, how tough it is. And this is the real glass effect you can see, and I spoke before. All in all, I have already tried this kind of this bottle. I put it into the dishwasher. Outstanding dishwasher resistance. And for this, I would like to show you a personal thing. This is one of our first prototypes. It was printed at Koenig Bauer in Löhne, and they sent it to me at the end of last year. And I used this kind of this specific glass I used every day, the last 2 months, 12 months, and yeah, convince yourself it looks like the first day, and it goes daily into the dishwasher, the household dishwasher. But now I heard that Tim, you have a surprise.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Fraser already triggered in the beginning, but yeah, based on this wonderful event, we had the idea to start a so-called selfie contest. So everyone who is attendant or signed in will receive or already have received one of those bottles, and who are interested in, just for those people who are interested in, can make a selfie with their personal carry bottle. Send us an email to event2021@kaman.de, and with a bit of luck, you can win 2 sets of glasses, personalized, individually printed with your own artwork. So yeah, deadline. I think that everyone who received the ball have already also the information in it. So feel free. We would be delighted to receive some photos, and a keen participation would be much appreciated. So yeah.
And we'll remind people after the webinar of the competition, and obviously everyone will get sent a little email, follow-up email anyway. Let's just take you back, gents. I want to pick up a couple of quick questions for you. One of the questions that has just come in that actually is quite interesting is, can you print on the bottom of the bottle?
Off the bottom of the bottle was correct?
Yes. Can you print on the bottom of the bottle?
Not with digital printing yet, but we do have a bottom printing station in the area of screen printing. So yeah, that's possible.
It is possible to do, but not with this machine. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm interested to know, is it possible to print digital small text? Are you able to, go quite small? How small are you able to go with this?
Yeah, I think, yeah, therefore we have made the samples, which I showed in the video, and you can as well see it, I think, on the bottle as well. So also fine detailed structure is possible, can be printed. For sure, there are limits, but yeah, depending on the resolution. So it's always important to have a vector graphic, high resolution images, and yeah, possible can be done.
Sounds good. Tobias, I just want to ask you, for Marabu, this is a very exciting partnership relationship. Because obviously you've got a machine manufacturer, you've got an ink specialist, and tell us. I mean, obviously you're pleased to be working together, but what's come out of this relationship, and what's important to you in terms of the collaboration? We often talk about collaboration with inkjet projects generally. What do you think about this whole kind of experience?
So first of all, it was a lot of fun to work with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think, but it was really, really important that we worked so closely. We had discussion in Löhne, we had discussion here in Stuttgart. We had our R&D teams who had several regular meetings together. During this Corona, we had mainly driven by video conferences. We did a lot of visiting also at the customer, what was possible, if it was possible in this time. But I think this cooperation was the key benefit for this, because these Koenig Bauer, the guys, they brought their knowledge, expertise about the mechanical engineering, the process. And here, my colleagues here from the chemistry side, they brought their knowledge about interaction between pigments and polymers.
Yep.
And they both died. We adjusted the process and the ink together, and I think this was the key success factor, because the ink and the machine both has to fit together, that it works perfectly.
Sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense, and this is always the challenge with bespoke technology for a specific industrial application like this. And you know, with FuturePrint, we've had this conversation many times with people about collaboration, the difference between working with one vendor, with one ink, one machine maker, you know, or going somewhere where you work with a specialist ink manufacturer who's, you know, a specialist machine manufacturer who are working together in collaboration, and you get the best of the best on both sides. And that's hopefully what you get with this, isn't it? And hopefully what you get with this, and hopefully that's what people are sensing from this. I would just say we've had loads of questions. I can see them flying in. The guys will be able to respond to all of them in the next few days. What we'll do is go through the questions, collate them, and then pull out some questions and respond directly to you. So thank you very much to all of you for pushing those questions in. Just a question, really, thinking more now about who the possible customers are for this. Both of you, really. You know, this could be packaging, it could be beer glasses, it could be tableware. Where do you see this? Where do you see who are the customers for this, and how, you know, how are they going to use it? Tell me.
For me, the field of application is widely spread. So as you already mentioned, different industries. So we have loads of contract printers in the tableware area. We have the glass manufacturers who directly are implementing or thinking about implementing such processes also on those sides. The industries are different. So tableware, cosmetics, perfume, beverages. So it's not just packaging, but it's widely spread.
Yeah, and Tobias, have you got any comment?
Well, I think I totally agree to Tim. I think it's a kind of three-dimensional decoration, and I think this fits to several markets, several kind of applications, beverage, but also tableware, cosmetics we mentioned. But there could be also some other things like the plastic market, for example, mentioned before.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I mean, it's anywhere where possibly curved surface, isn't it?
Yeah, also the decoration. If I see at home decoration, there could be some opportunities to generate there. I think individualization starts at home, and you want to be a really, really cozy home.
So you're thinking what, lamps, or you know, something, you know, maybe something special on your table.
Something special on your table, candles, or I'm thinking on decoration like for flowers, and we put the flowers in it and vase.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim, did you want to say something? You look like you were about to say something.
I think that it was already mentioned, but yeah, I totally agree. So field is widely spread, and in case on the substrate, for sure, this event is about glass, okay, but substrate, glass is not the only substrate. Digital printing process can be used. So we are also printing, our machines also are able to print on plastic, metal, glass as well. And so there are many possibilities to integrate such technology.
I think Fraser, the first challenging was here because it's such a complex process and a complex thing. And what we did here is we focused first on one market because we want to assure a proper process, a proper ink, and we thought the glass market because this is where we feel home, and but it could be spread out. It could be used for other market as well, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, the point you make is right, isn't it? Curved surface, is there anything as difficult to print on as glass? You know, it's not absorbent, is it? So in terms of droplets onto it, or however, it's a challenging way. It's a challenging thing to do. If you can crack glass, then you're that's a joke. If you can crack it, then obviously you've solved the problem. So yeah, I totally agree there. I totally agree. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Is there any final little things you wanted to say, either one of you? Tim, any final comments? Was there anything else you wanted to say any more in terms of if people are interested in this technology, I guess that you guys develop this technology as machines that people can buy off the shelf, or as bespoke technology. Is that right? You explain that.
That's correct. Yeah. So special machines, always configured to the requirements. So yeah, and what I want to say is that it wasn't possible because of the time to go too much in detail. For those people who are interested to receive more detailed information, please don't hesitate to contact us, contact me or my colleagues. It will be a pleasure to be to your assistance.
Fantastic. And Tobias, to you, the final word, really, as we kind of wrap up.
Many thanks for attending here. It was a pleasure here to meet you. And if you want to have some further information, we have updated our website today. You can visit it. There is something we wrote further information about the embossing process, about the print varnish, about the MaraShape DUV-HBV. So just visit our Marabu website if you want to look a little bit deeper. And yeah, thank you for attending here.
No, thank you. And as we've said, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, you'll all receive your bottle if you haven't already got it. So look forward to that. And as the boys have said, it's all about the feeling, the haptic effect, and the amazing way that they can print on curved surface. So thank you very much for your time today. And as they've all said, we'll be in touch with you, or alternatively, if you want to make contact directly with Tim or with Tobias, we'll make their details available. Thank you to you. Thank you also to Nico, who's behind the scenes doing the technology and been fielding the questions. Thank you to all of you, and hope to catch up with you again. My name's Fraser Chesterman. Hope to see you soon.
Thanks. Bye-bye.